Comparing and ordering integers. So let's look at the vocabulary. Integers are whole numbers and their opposites, okay? So whole complete numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So the negative integers would be -1, -2, -3, and so on. Positive integers would be 0, 2, 3, and so on. And notice that there are no fractions or decimals when we're talking about integers. Now, absolute value is really, really important. Absolute value, the symbol looks like parentheses that have been straightened out. All right, and it means find the distance from 0. So if I want to know the absolute value of 7, I would say it's 7 because it's 7 steps away from 0. Or if I want to know the absolute value of -3, well, it would just be 3 because it's 3 steps away from 0. Okay? Now, opposites, the negative sign here, or negative symbol, means the opposite of. So the way I read this is the opposite of 5 is -5, or the opposite of -8 is 8. Okay, graphing and ordering integers. Now they want us to use a number line to order these integers. I realize that many of you can do it without the number line. The only reason I'm going to go over the number line is just to talk a little bit about graphing with you today, okay? So look at 0. If I want to graph 0, I want you to notice I have to do a solid closed dot at 0. If I want to graph -6, I find -6 and I do a solid closed dot at -6. If I want to graph -2, I do a solid closed dot at -2, and so on. And once I have all of my points graphed, then I can just read the number line, or the dots, from left to right, and that will put the numbers in order. So I'd have -9, -8, -6, -2, 0, 3, and 7. So it's a fast way to put numbers in order. And with this checkpoint, they want us to graph the integers and then write the integers in order. So I graphed +2, I found +2. I graphed -7, it's right here between -6 and -8. I graphed 6, okay, and so on. I graphed all those points and then I read them from left to right to make my list. -7, -4, -1, 0, 2, 4, and 6. Okay, finding the absolute value. So state the absolute value of the number. Well, the first number they give me is 7, so I really want you guys to use the symbol. I want you to put an absolute value sign around the 7, okay? So the absolute value of 7 is 7 because it's 7 steps away from 0, and they're showing you here it's 7 steps away from 0. So that's what I boxed right here. And if the next number they wanted me to use was -5, so put the absolute value symbols around -5. So the absolute value of -5 is 5 because it's 5 steps away from 0. They're showing you that, and I boxed my answer right here. So here they want me to state the opposite of the number, and the first number they give me is 3. So again, I want you to notice how I'm using the symbols. The opposite of 3 is -3, okay? So I want you to use the symbols. And so they're showing that the opposite of 3, if 3 is over here, the opposite is over here, -3. Okay, and I boxed my answer down here. Now, on B, they want me to do the opposite of -8, and I want you to get used to the symbols. So the opposite of -8 is 8. And so they're showing you how -8 and 8 are opposites, are on opposite sides of 0. And so the opposite of -8 is 8. So here, they want us to do two things. They want us to state the absolute value and the opposite of the number. So I want to see two answers with the correct notation. So the absolute value of 9 is 9. This is how I want you to do your homework, okay? And for the opposite of, it's the opposite of 9 is -9. So I want you to write the work out using the symbols. Take a look at 3. The absolute value of -12 is 12. It's 12 steps away from 0. The opposite of -12 is 12. Okay,